In this brief video, we'll see how a legal user can work with the matters that have been assigned to him or her using MacroView DMF. Here we are in Outlook 2016. We can also do this demonstration using Outlook 2010 or 2013. The MacroView pane is located on the right-hand side of the main Outlook window. The Mail Folders pane on the left shows folders that correspond to the favorites that have been created in MacroView. You can create a new favorite manually by going into the Browse mode and then right-clicking on a particular matter and choosing Add to Favorites. Then you choose the group, in this case the My Matters group, and if necessary you can edit the display name of the new favorite. As you create the new favorite, it's been automatically assigned a corresponding folder under the My Matters heading in the Mail Folders pane. And if I go back to the Favorites mode, you can see that same new area here in the Favorites mode of the MacroView pane. Favorites can also be created and pushed out to me automatically by the system. This happens when I restart Outlook or when I click on the Refresh Favorites button within the MacroView tab of Outlook. Looks like I've been assigned to a new matter to do with a patent for a flu vaccine. That favorite has been automatically created for me and appears now in the Favorites mode of the MacroView pane and also in the Mail Folders area. If I click, I see the default view of that matter area within the SharePoint Online document store. This sample matter is currently a new matter. It's currently empty. There are no files to display, but I notice there are subfolders called Correspondence and Documents. If I expand in the MacroView pane, I can see those subfolders. I can also see them when I click on the same area within the Mail Folders display. If I double click, it drills me down into the correspondence area so that I can see whatever files are stored there. Currently there are no correspondence files. Let's go back to our inbox, in which case the main pane of Outlook resumes its normal function of displaying the inbox contents, including this email from Michael Hurst, which has a docx attachment. We can save that by dragging and dropping to the correspondence area. The email is now saved to that particular folder within the SharePoint Online document store. Here's our newly saved email within the correspondence area. If I click, I see a formatted preview of it. I can use any view that has been defined in the normal SharePoint fashion. And when I use this matter emails view, I see that the subject to from another metadata has been recorded for me automatically. Here's our formatted preview again. If I right-click and open, that email is retrieved from SharePoint Online and reopened in Outlook exactly as it was at the moment I dragged and dropped to save it. Let's go back to the inbox. This time we'll drag and drop just the attachment and we'll drag it to the Documents subfolder. I've got my document matters library configured so that there is metadata in respect of non-emails, so it automatically selects the default content type for that area of the store called matter document. You'll note that this personal group column has been automatically defaulted to my identity, and now I can pick the value. MacroView will only prompt for those metadata attributes that it cannot record automatically. So if they are all can be recorded automatically, there will be no MacroView prompting for metadata at all as you save an attachment. Our Word document attachment is now being saved to the Documents folder within the sample matter. Again, if we use the All Documents view and click on the folder, we see our newly saved Word document attachment, and here's a formatted preview of it. We can now right-click on that and open it, for example, in which case it will open into the relevant application, being Microsoft Word. MacroView updates the heading of the Word session to display the document ID and the current version number. It also updates that information in the footer of that Word document. Let's go into review mode and let's delete this paragraph and add some additional text at the bottom. We keep our eye on the footer of the document, close and save our unsaved changes. We are prompted as to whether we want to create a new version or as a whole new document or overwrite the existing major version. Let's create a new version 2 with a very simple comment. Keep your eye on the footer. It automatically updates as the document is resaved to SharePoint. Let's close out of Word. This time we'll go back, refresh in Outlook, and we see that it's version 2 of the document. We see that the footer has been updated to display version 2, which is now the current version. Next, let's see how you can save multiple emails in a single drag and drop action. We select approximately 15 or 20 emails. We drag them across to our correspondence subfolder. MacroView doesn't make us watch the whole process. We can hit hide and then continue working in Outlook while that save proceeds in the background. The bulk save is now completed, and we can see all the new Save to SharePoint indicators. And by the way, instead of making a copy in SharePoint, these saved emails can be automatically deleted from our Outlook inbox if that's what we would prefer. When we click the correspondence area, we see the whole bunch of new emails that have been saved in bulk. Next thing to show is if we go to the MacroView Options dialog, within the Office tab, there is an option to control the way an email which has attachments is saved. We've been saving the complete email with its attachments as part of the same saved MSG object. Let's just choose the second option here where the attachments will be saved separately. Let's take this email from Mr. Akbar, which has 2 PDF attachments. We drag and drop to our correspondence area. This time, as you can see, it's splitting the 2 attachments away from the main message body and saving all 3. It's saved the message already, but now it's prompting me for metadata for the first of the 2 attachments. I'm going to type ahead and choose analysis, and we're going to use that same value for the remaining file, the second attachment. All 3 files are now being saved to our correspondence area. If I click that area and sort by modified date, we see the saved email and the 2 attachments now in that same correspondence area. For more information about using MacroView DMF and other solutions from MacroView for generating and managing documents and emails, contact MacroView using these details.